naming what's happening in Iraq over the last 12 months as a genocide. Once you name it rightly and justly, and you don't have to worry about the evidence, it's there. It's there. Once you name it, work for it.
Archbishop Bashar Warda of Erbil, Iraq, on this program a couple of weeks ago, calling the persecution going on in his homeland against Christians genocide, and that some action needs to be taken. One United States congressman heard that call and has introduced a genocide resolution in the House on behalf of the Christians in Iraq and Syria. For more, let's call on my old congressional colleague behind the latest legislation. Joining us via Skype from Capitol Hill, he's Representative Jeff Fortenberry of Nebraska. Congressman Fortenberry, also a member of the House Committee on Appropriations. Jeff, it's good to have you here on Newsmax Prime.
Thank you, JD. Great to hear your voice. We miss you in the House.
Well, I appreciate that, but you are trying to do some important work right now, and we're glad to see this resolution introduced, but why has it taken so long for people to step up?
Well, I think the answer to that may be quoting Pope Francis. He said there's a scandal of silence. Many people are very concerned about what's happening, but the world is confused and complicated and getting more so each day. And so this issue sort of takes its place alongside the other pressing concerns. But this is grave. Christians and other religious minorities in Iraq and areas of Syria and in other places throughout the world are dying. They're being beaten. They're broken. They're not gone yet, but they are hanging on, and I think we have a responsibility in America, but also the entire international community, to speak and to speak clearly and label this for what it is: an attack on humanity, a genocide against a religious faith, a particular people who have every right to be there in their ancient homeland as anyone else.
So you have authored this resolution, but serving on the Appropriations Committee, you know, one of the challenges, putting money where intent may exist. Legally, what will the resolution do? Just express a sense of Congress, or does it open up a situation for a definition for this nation to take action?
All of the above. The primary thing that it does is elevate international consciousness on the problem, the plight of Christians and other religious minorities, as well as innocent Muslims. But this is specifically directed to the genocide that's being committed against Christians and others in that area. Raising international consciousness with a genocide declaration has certain implications for action on migration issues, as well as economic and military issues potentially. Now, those are separate questions that have to be worked on through defense appropriations and other ways. But nonetheless, starting here by naming something what it is, in my hope, elevates the idea of what is happening to the forefront of policy discussions worldwide, but also gives the people who are hanging on for dear life some hope that somebody is paying attention and that somebody could come up with a set of solutions that attack the unjust structures that are leading to this horror.
Jeff, President Obama has written that when the winds blow, he will stand with Muslims. Do you believe this White House and this State Department have taken the necessary actions to even lend a sympathetic ear to the Christians being persecuted, to the Christians who you say in this resolution face genocide?
We pointed out to the White House, and fortunately they responded in a proactive manner, that as you remember, when the Egyptian Coptic Christians who were killed in Libya by ISIL, when they were martyred, the White House issued a statement that these Egyptians, they lamented the fact that these Egyptians were killed. They were not killed because they were Egyptians, they were killed because they were Christians. So we actually brought that to their attention, and they corrected future releases. I think we've got to continue to press the issue that this is about an attack on a particular faith tradition, again, an ancient tradition that has preceded many other traditions that are there, that has every right to remain in their homeland. A broader perspective here needs to also commend the countries, the Arab countries, the Jordanians and the Lebanese, as well as the Kurds, for all that they've been doing to try to take in refugees, as well as to push back and stop ISIL. One of the strategies moving beyond the resolution itself would be to set up a protective zone, particularly in the Nineveh Plain area, where Yazidis as well as Christians have traditionally resided, and potentially to even empower them to be a part of security forces under the Iraqi national government or under the auspices of the Peshmerga. These are longer-term military strategies, but right now, raising consciousness on the issue, I think, elevates the potential for new public policies that will actually address the unjust structures here, give people some hope, as well as set the conditions for the immediate salvation or saving the lives of those who are in imminent danger.
Congressman Jeff Fortenberry, Republican of Nebraska, tonight from Capitol Hill via Skype. Jeff, we thank you for your time. Now, you heard what Jeff had to say. Is it genocide? What action should the United States take? Do you agree with Jeff? Why don't you send me your comments? And you do it this way. Send them to newsmaxtv.com/comments. There's more ahead here on Newsmax Prime.